Good afternoon, everyone. It is Sunday, January 26, 2014, 3:35 p.m. This is Meteorologist Eric Drewitz here with the New York State Regional Forecast Center bringing you your latest forecast. So, start off looking at current conditions across the region. Right now, looks like temperatures generally, in the teens in upstate New York, Adirondacks, single digits. But it looks like generally the winds, the surface winds are going to be out of the, looks like they're out of the southwest or so for the most part. And temperatures, more towards the Long Island, New York City area, coasts of New Jersey coast, more so in the mid to upper 20s, actually, to low 30s down here in, by the Washington, D.C. area, Delaware, West Virginia. Anyway, I'll zoom in a little bit to give you a little more locally. This forecast discussion is going to be based in central New York on the possible lake effect that could be going on the next couple days, which is actually funny because tomorrow classes start up again. So welcome back, everyone, to college, SUNY Oswego. All right. So let's first start off by looking at just, the 1,000 to 500 millibar thickness, just, to get an idea of the trough ridge patterns. So right now we have a trough in the east. This is at the 12Z GFS run today, 7 a.m. today, and as we go through as we go through, this is now 0Z Tuesday, and as you see, the trough is deepening across the Great Lakes region. Definitely looks like there's going to be some serious cold air advection, which was actually said in the forecast discussion today for the Owls project. So Monday night into Tuesday is when the best chance of lake effect is too. This is 6Z Tuesday, and as you can see, the 1,000 to 500 millibar thickness around 1 a.m. or 6Z Tuesday. Oswego is just south of the 492 line, so about, I'd say, between 492 and 498 decameters, closer to 492, which is well below freezing considering the rain snow line is the 540 line, the 540 decameter thickness between 1,000 and 500 millibars. And as you see, that is way off the shore of Long Island. Looks like down around, North Carolina, Virginia border. So as I fast forward now, we were looking at the 60 Tuesday, so this is 12Z, and as you see, the 498 line is south of Oswego. So still very cold temperatures. As you see, the trough, persists in the east. Actually, my colleague Mike Volato showed me an article today about the big ridge in the west. There was record highs set over in Alaska, and that's because I'm going to get to this later, but that's because of the blocking that's going on. It's called omega blocking, which is a very strong high pressure system in the west that's creating a ridge that looks like an omega pattern, which I'll show you later. Anyway, this is the 1,000 to 500 millibar thickness 0Z Tuesday, and as you see, the 498 line is pretty much sitting right over Oswego. Trough deepens, moves in our area. This is 18Z Tuesday. Really cold temperatures in the east. Thicknesses, not well below 540 decameters. And then here's the 12Z run of the NAM. Shows like about the same thing. Big trough in the east. Although the NAM has the 492 line actually just south of Oswego, like over Syracuse. So you got actually, if I look at 18Z Wednesday, you have some good deepening to the west, because as I said in my previous videos for all of you guys, you have a positively tilted trough. It really, as you see when I trace these lines out, it really deepens when I trace the lines along the different levels thickness levels of 1,000 to 500 millibars. So now, since we got through that pretty quick, actually, I'll talk about some of that blocking right now, actually, and I'll look at ensembles and the anomalies and the ensembles later on in my forecast. But if I look at the Arctic, actually, I don't want to use the NAM for that because the NAM doesn't go that far, actually. If I look at the Arctic, if I could find that, oh, here it is. This is the GFS, 12Z run GFS today, and then I'll bring up the 12Z European. So just wait for that to load, but I guess in the meantime, I'll go through the temperatures in the Northeast in the meantime, while this is loading up. Oh, now it's starting to load. All right, I'll get to the temperatures later. So this is the 12Z GFS run. As you see, this over here is Alaska. As you can see, there's this huge ridge pattern in Alaska. Northern Alaska is the rain snow lines up in northern Alaska, so all this area over here is warm. This is warm sector over here. If you have precipitation over here at the surface, you're gonna get rain actually. Now over here though, as you see, there's big troughs, along Canada, central United States, and the in Russia. But actually, if you look, you have this big ridge over this sector of the Arctic, so over by Alaska, and that persists as the models are showing. Actually, just to give a closer look, just to Alaska, just to finish explaining about it quickly. Where I need to find it, Alaska. Here we go. So I'll go back to the temperatures in the Northeast quick. So this is at 12Z today, 12Z Sunday, and as you see, at 7 a.m. today, mostly single digits, and you have some minuses up here in the Adirondacks. As I fast forward here, this is now 6Z Monday, so 1 a.m. tonight. Temperatures, in the mid-20s, mid to upper 20s actually looks like over central and western New York, according to the GFS. But then up here in the Adirondacks, more teens, single digits. However, as cold air advection starts to enter our region as a front passes through, you'll see now by 6 Tuesday, 24 hours later, temperatures are much colder. A lot of single digits and teens and minuses, minus teens, really over the region. And then as you see, the cold air will persist around, and this is now 0Z Friday, and now by 18Z Friday, warm air is starting to get into the region, but again, the region is staying below freezing. So now this will be the 12Z European 12Z ECMWF. Again, temperatures 60 tonight, around 30, 32 degrees. So, upper 20s, low 30s for a lot of central and western New York. Warm air is going to be in the region. Well, warmer than it has been over the past few weeks, actually. But as I animate this by 0Z Tuesday and especially 6Z Tuesday, you notice a big temperature difference because now you have all this very cold air over the region, and as you see, a lot of minuses, single digits, little bit of teens along the lake, Long Island teens along the coast, although maybe like southern Fork, maybe 20s. some isolated minus teens, out here to our west, and even minus 20s out here and up here, minus teens again over here, and pretty much to reiterate, it's going to get cold and persist according to the Euro. Lately, actually, this is 18Z Friday, actually. It's supposed to be in the mid-20s. But lately, though, the Euro has been trending colder than the GFS. Now we'll bring you back to showing you the ridge, the omega blocking that we're seeing over Alaska in the Pacific. So this is the 12Z European. And as you can see, you have a huge, massive ridge around here. And pretty much, as I'll show you in the ensembles and stuff later, it makes the shape of an omega sign, which is why it's called omega blocking. So now let's look at the 10-meter winds and streamlines. So first we'll start off with the 12Z GFS run, and it looks like we have southerly flow. However, it looks like some it looks like maybe some frontal system will be passing through based on the winds, because you see easterly winds, southeasterly, then southwesterly, and then northwesterly over here, and again northwesterly behind the front. And as you see now, this is 18Z Monday, 6Z Monday. As I showed you with the warm temperatures, you see we're in the warm sector here because you have this southwesterly flow right ahead of the cold front, which is essentially right on our doorstep right about here. So now this is 18Z Monday, and as you can tell, the winds are more, out of the west to northwesterly flow. So colder air is going to be building into the region, and then by 0Z and 6Z Tuesday again, winds more westerly, northwesterly. Cold air vection is going to be dominating the region, which I will get to. And so here's the Euro again. Southerly flow. Changing, around 12Z Monday, it looks like to more of a westerly flow, and then to more of a northwesterly to westerly, and then southwesterly again at the 10-meter at the surface, and the NAM, 12Z NAM again showing the same thing. Southwesterly, southerly, southwesterly flow turns more westerly. Creating resulting in cold air vection and falling temperatures. For the last of this portion of the forecast, we'll look at the 1,000 to 850 millibar relative humidity, just to get a moisture profile of the lower levels. So this is the 12Z GFS run. So it's at 12Z today. Most of southeastern Lake Ontario region, between 80 and 90%. And as I animate this, this is 0Z Monday, so 7 p.m. night. Again, pretty humid, between 80 and 90%. But as you see, moist air builds in Monday as the synoptic system passes through. And then 6Z Tuesday, as you can see, there's a lake effect. There's going to be some lake effect enhancement after that, which you'll clearly see in the humidity. Now this is the 12Z run of the NAM, and it's basically synoptic system passes through, and then it stays humid or more humid around the shores of Lake Ontario on the southeast side. So it's enough with using AccuWeather Pro, and let's look at weather tabs. So we'll look at the current radar, although I don't think there's anything right now. The Montague radar is back online, which is good for lake effect purposes around Oswego. So just wait for that to load up for a sec. Okay. Well, it doesn't really look like there was anything going on anyway. So we'll just go straight to the models. The radar doesn't look like it's behaving itself. So let's look at the 850 millibar temps and winds. This is the NAM 12Z run today. Oh, it's weird. Oh, there we go. Okay, so this is the NAM 12Z run today. So at 12Z today, it looked like there was pretty much neutral advection going over Oswego. 850 millibar temps around minus 10 or so, and winds out of the west. So you got a decent westerly flow, and also, as I noticed, a little bit over Lake Ontario, which was consistent with earlier today because there was a lake effect band. It looks like you got some upper level diffluence in a sense. You got some anticyclonic curvature right here, I noticed, in the winds, and then you have a couple winds blowing towards the northeast over western Lake Ontario, creating diffluence, which is good for lake effect snowband formation. So now when I animate this and I move more forward in time, so as you see today, this is at 7 p.m. or 00 today, you have some significant warm air advection, winds out of the southwest. 850 millibar temps now are actually in the single digits, so they things got much warmer. But as you can tell now by this is 1 a.m. Monday or 6Z tonight. You got low pressure system to the northwest, pretty much looks like a little bit north of Georgian Bay, and so on the back end, as you expect of a low pressure system, on the west end you have significant cold air advection, westerly winds to northwesterly, and then on the east side you have more warm air advection, southwesterly. To actually here, there's some really strong warm air advection because you got pretty much a southerly flow right here on the low, and then pretty much that will move into the region, across the region, and as you notice now across areas of western New York, you're starting to get more of that cold air advection as your winds change from more of a a southwesterly flow over central and eastern New York to more of a westerly flow at the 850 millibar level. And then as we go through time now, this is 10 a.m. Monday. As you noticed, temperatures around 1 in the morning tonight, around 6Z tonight, are going to be much warmer than temperatures around 18Z tomorrow, which is around when you'd have your highs, because around 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. But again, you have a lot of cold air advection coming into the region, northwesterly around central New York, then building to northwesterly behind that. And then still over Long Island, New York City, you got more of that warm air advection. But as I look more forward, you could really see the cold air building in. And now this is at 10 p.m. or 3Z Monday night, 3Z Tuesday. And yeah, cold air advection is really dominating the 850 millibar level. And as you see, it persists into Tuesday, according to the NAM. Now let's take a look at the GFS. So GFS says okay. So the GFS is hinting at the 12Z GFS is hinting at originally warm air advection, as you see. First, this morning, more significant warm air advection, winds out of the southwest. But as time progresses, warm air advection weakens, and then cold air advection builds into the area. And as you see around 18Z tomorrow, 18Z Monday, you have that westerly flow, and then behind that you have more of a northwesterly flow. So you're essentially having cold air advection. I'm just really tired right now because last night I was actually in the Dow for the Owls project, and I was up all night, so I got literally maybe a couple hours of sleep at the most. So I'm doing the best I can with this forecast discussion. So I know it's not as good as the other ones, but please bear with me. Actually, some things I observed in the Dow while we're on that topic. Last night there was some good lake effect snow over by Sodas Point, New York. The video I made last night actually on my weather forum on the New York State Regional Forecast Center Facebook page. Give it a like, please. Anyway, it was during the most intense snowfall. It was about an inch an hour, 25 dBZs. And then also with wind, the maximum wind gust we had was 19.9 meters per second, so about 20 meters per second, which is pretty fast. This is now so getting back onto this topic. So this is now 7 p.m. Tuesday, and as you see, pretty much neutral advection, turning to warm air advection by 7 a.m. Thursday. So let's look at the I want to look at the E-wall. Hopefully the 18Z NAM is up and running. So yes, it is. So this is the latest run of the 4-kilometer high-res NAM. So this is initialized today at 18Z. The whole model run didn't finish, but I'll show you the part that did, I guess. So pretty much, a synoptic system is going to be passing through. Although the part I really wanted to show was later, because there's going to be some very decent lake effect enhancement from this. As you see, the synoptic system is going to be passing through the region, and then afterwards you see a lake effect band developing, actually pretty much right over Oswego. As I slow this down, you'll see the synoptic snow to be most intense around Monday at 13Z, so about 8 a.m. Monday, so 8 a.m. tomorrow. Looks like around Oswego, reflectivity values about 30 to 35 dBZs, which is pretty decent. And then for most of it, 12Z tomorrow, looks like 25, 30 dBZ. But then you see a lake effect band forming on the eastern shores of Lake Ontario with maximum reflectivity values of about 30, 35 dBZ, but then as you see that band move southward, pretty much develops, it looks like starting around 17Z tomorrow, or around noon tomorrow afternoon, and then it moves south, and now by 19Z or 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, it looks like it's pretty much right on Oswego's doorstep. Looks like at the moment the highest reflectivity values are very small area, but of about 25 to 30 dBZs, and as I look forward in time, this is now 21Z tomorrow. It persists in the same region for a little bit, but it starts shifting southward, and now this is at 0Z tomorrow night. Band strengthening and then moving south over Oswego, but then moving back north. And this is actually 12Z on Tuesday morning, and it looks like actually the heaviest part of the band, which is about 30 to 35 dBZs, is pretty much right over Oswego, which is actually very good for us. And then it moves out of here. And let's take a look at the temperatures. So as you see here, 12Z today. Temperatures in the single digits for most of upstate New York, Adirondacks. Minuses, -10s, isolated. Now let's look at 6Z tonight, and as you see, temperatures in the 20s. See temperatures in the 20s, but then you see that how the warm air actually is moving up north in the east, but the cold air is really cycling in from the west. But here in central New York, the cold air, the whole region, the cold air is going to win, but there's no chance at warm air here in central New York. And then as you see, temperatures, in the single digits. This is 12Z Tuesday, so this is when that decent band was over Oswego. Like temperature looks like around 0. According to the high res NAM, 1 degree or so in Oswego. So around 0. Minuses to our southwest and to our northeast. So it's going to be cold. Next, let's look at again the 850 millibar temps and winds. As you see, warm air advection is occurring over the region, but then cold. Then it's going to get dominated by cold air advection, and you have a good westerly flow, so good setup for that was the 18Z, but a good setup for this is just 12Z. Anyway, I don't know what's wrong with the model one, but if you look at this is at 18Z tomorrow. Looks like good band development, possibly over over the southeastern shores of Lake Ontario, which is kind of nice, or very nice in our case. Now let's look at some forecast soundings. Let's look at the NAM. Let's look at Oswego. Okay. I like Twisted Data because you can just plot a sounding. Alright, well this is the 18Z run today. So this is the sounding conditions at 18Z. But let's fast forward to let's look at 6Z tonight. Pretty much you got a decent moisture profile from about surface to really actually about a little bit over 500 millibars or so. Really it's fairly decently moist, up to 250 millibars, but you have a lot of vertical wind shear in the lower levels between 1,000 and 850, so your snow bands are going to be unlikely at this time. Again, warm air advection doesn't help either. You really want cold air advection for lake effect. So we'll fast forward actually till hopefully tomorrow afternoon. So this is 21Z Monday, and as you see, this is actually this is a sounding over Oswego that actually looks favorable for lake effect according to the NAM. You got a good moisture profile from 1,000 up to about little bit under 700 millibars actually. And as you see, you should notice the winds are all up from the west. There's like literally no vertical wind shear, which is excellent. So I'm thinking, based on the sounding, around 21 UTC or 21Z tomorrow, things are looking good. And as I look more forward in time, this is 0Z tomorrow. Good moisture profile up to about 700 millibars. Not too much vertical wind shear, but I can see you starting to get more of a northwesterly flow around the surface. But still, it looks decent. Let's go to next sounding. This is 3Z. Yeah, not much in the way of shear. I mean, a little shear, but good moisture profile. Thermal cap around 700 millibars. And when I look more in the future, sorry, it's taking forever to load. I don't know what it's doing this time, but 6Z looks really favorable. Cap actually very moist up to about 700 millibars and literally no vertical shear, because now the winds are becoming more out of the west. So wonder if I could look at the 12Z. 12Z run of the NAM, so we could see, because the 18Z didn't finish the model run yet. Now let's look at the 9Z. 9Z looks perfect actually. Cap around 700 millibars. Moist up to about 700 millibars. No vertical wind shear. Temperatures well below freezing. So we're looking good for the lake effect parameters. And then this is 12Z, as I said when that nice band came through, capped to about 700 millibars and no shear, nothing over Oswego. Looks very favorable for a lake effect snow band. And then this is 15Z. Looks like the band's pretty much dying down and moving out of the area by 15Z or 10 a.m. Tuesday, moisture's good up to about 850 millibars. There's not too much shear, but there's a little more shear in the lower levels between 1,000 and 850. And then when I look at 18Z, the depth is only looks like to about maybe 925 millibars. So not by 18Z Tuesday. It's not looking that favorable anymore. So my about snow politics and stuff up here, I don't think classes would really be affected Monday. I mean, but Tuesday I'd say it's in the realm of possibility for morning classes to be canceled. Now, I'm not saying don't think I'm saying classes are going to be canceled, because the politics up here are a lot different than the politics back at home on Long Island for snow removal and school closures. But don't think that I said a snow day or a delayed opening at SUNY Oswego is going to happen just because I said it's possible. Anyway, this is 12Z GFS. Looking out, let's look about 30 hours out. So this is 18Z Monday. Looks like you have a good moisture profile up to about 700 millibars, and straight line winds, not much vertical shear. And then now we're looking at come on, load. Internet and in Oswego isn't the greatest. Okay. So this is 3Z Tuesday. Looks like you actually have a decent profile for lake effect snow here. You have a good moisture profile up to about probably like about 675 millibars. No vertical wind shear. Really straight line winds. If I look back, see if this will load again. Okay, now it loads. 0Z tomorrow. Again, a good profile up to like about 675 millibars and not much in the way of vertical shear. So that's good for lake effect snow formation. And when I look farther ahead, yeah, not much in the way of vertical shear. And again, thermal cap of about 675 millibars. When I look, should be 9Z. Then this should be at 9Z on Tuesday. This sounding. Again, thermal cap of about 700 millibars. Straight line winds. So very good conditions. And at 12Z, straight winds, it looks like for the most part, and moisture's good up to about 700 millibars. So it's pretty much to wrap up this discussion. Last thing I'll talk about. First, let's look at the 12Z 500 millibar height ensembles. Just to give you show you a better idea of the omega blocking to our west and the nice U-locked trough here in the east, which is causing these very cold temperatures across New York State and causing a lot of lake effect snow in the central New York region. So these are 12Z runs today. For the 500 millibar height ensembles, and as you see in the west, you have a huge ridge. And as you see in all the ensemble photos, all the ensemble shots, you see the ridge kind of has an omega-like shape, like in physics, the ohm when it comes to electrical resistance or whatever that is. I'm not an electrical engineer, although my dad is, but beside the point. You see it has an omega. It kind of looks like the shape of an omega symbol, which is why they call it omega high. But that causes that setup there causes this trough to really push southward and deepen in the eastern United States due to this ridge in the western United States. And that's what's known as omega blocking. So as you see when I look at the ensembles, it looks like the trough is really just going to be persisting in the eastern U.S. and in the western U.S. it's looking like the ridge is going to be persisting still. And to show you that, let's just quickly look at the 500 millibar height anomalies. To show you the trough and ridge patterns. So as you see, this is the 500 millibar height anomaly. This is initialized at this is for this was initialized at actually it doesn't say. Anyway, so this is tomorrow at 18Z. Again, you notice the 500 millibar height anomalies shows that omega blocking in the west, and in the east it shows that the U-lock trough. Kind of like if you look at it from this perspective, actually, let me change the color of my pen here. But if you look at it in this perspective, it kind of looks like a sinusoidal, like a sine wave kind of. When you have the big omega high in the west, this big blocking high pressure system causing the omega blocking. you are gonna have a big deepening trough in the east, which is gonna have more of a counter clockwise flow when you look at it on this large synoptic scale. But as you notice here, the 500 millibar height anomalies are much lower over the 500 millibar levels are much lower over the eastern United States, northeastern United States, which is why it's so cold here. Oh, and then you see by 0Z Sunday the 26th. Actually, no. Huh. Strange. I'm sorry. I'm just so tired right now from last night's operation. This was initialized at Monday the 20th, but as you see, it's just, I guess I'll just show you this, but this is, the 500 millibar height anomalies. Let's look at this one, actually. Okay, this one was initialized today at 0Z. So, and this one, I don't know what's wrong with the GFS one, but the European one shows you that, yes, the anomalies in the east, you have that nice U-lock trough right here, and in the west you have that omega blocking, causing warm air to get into like areas like Alaska, and they had record highs when lately places in the east are having record lows. So it's due to the trough ridge patterns and the global circulation of things. Well, I hope this forecast discussion was helpful, even though I am exhausted from last night's IOP. I'm sorry for the inconvenience on the quality of this video because of that reason. I will try to be back tomorrow if I can, unless if I'm out on an IOP. So this next couple days should have some good lake effect, so that should be good for everyone on the Owls project, including myself. And this is meteorologist Eric Drewitz of the New York State Regional Forecast Center signing off for today. Please like the page for the New York State Regional Forecast Center. Follow NYS_forecast on Twitter, and subscribe to NYS Forecast on YouTube for your latest forecast updates and photos. So everybody have a great day, and welcome back to school, and have a good first couple days of classes.